Hi boys and girls! Hope you guys are excited for our new lesson 16.8 on Go Math. Look who's here with me today, Harvey! Boys and girls, welcome to our 18.6 lesson, which is metric units for liquid volume. Now in this lesson, we're going to go ahead and be able to measure liquid volume in metric units. So we're going to go ahead and unlock the problem. So let's go ahead and start reading. So liquid volume is the amount of liquid in a container. So this right here, boys and girls, would be our liquid volume. It's the amount of liquid in a container. Now, we have liters. It's the basic metric unit for measuring liquid volume, and we have milliliters. That's the metric unit to measure liquid in very small containers. So an example of that, boys and girls, very small containers, it would be, if we look over here, like a drop of water, or we also measure the medicine that we take. When you guys go to the doctor, maybe you guys get cough syrup or something like that. We also measure that in milliliters. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go over this activity now, and we're going to go ahead and answer a couple of questions. So, it says fill 1 liter beaker with water to fill. Done. So I got 2 containers and I already filled them up with 1 liter of water. And I also marked the level of the water of the containers with tape. Hey boys and girls, I went ahead and put water in both of these containers. Now, the little marks right here that I put on them are how much they are filled. Now, believe it or not, these are both 1 liter each. Now the reason that this one is way smaller is because the container is different. This container doesn't have that much space, so of course the liquid volume is going to come all the way up here. Now we're going to go ahead, I have a bottle cap here. We're going to go ahead and see how many milliliters we can put into our bottle cap. So I'm going to fill it up with 5 milliliters. And I'll tell you guys when I stop. So it was actually perfect 5. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw the containers below and name the containers. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the containers below. And this is the amount of water that was in there. That was my liquid volume. And that's the amount that was in that one. So this one was a container. And this one right here was a cup. Now the next thing it tells me to do, I already drew the containers and named the containers. Now I'm going to go ahead and write if the container holds less than a liter, or more than a liter. So I'm going to go ahead. I think this one is less than a liter. I think this one might be more. Whoops. More than a liter. Now let's go ahead and continue on to the next one. So it says use a 1 milliliter dropper filled with water to fill the bottle cap. How many times did you fill the dropper? So I used a dropper that was of 10 milliliters, but I only filled up 5 milliliters and it was full. So I filled it up once, with 5 milliliters. Now, if the bottle cap is less than a milliliter, explain if the bottle cap is less than a milliliter, or more than a milliliter. So we know that it was more than a milliliter. And name the container that will hold a liter of water. So based on what we just did, I think the container and the cup can both hold a liter of water. So I'm going to go ahead and write both there. And will the container hold 50 bottle caps of water? So I definitely think that yes, it's possible, because 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and write here, yes, because 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Now, if you guys look on our other side with the units of capacity anchor chart, I went ahead and added a drop of water, which is equal to 1 milliliter, and I also added a liter, which would be like a Gatorade bottle. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go on to this part. So it says a dropper holds about 1 milliliter. A full glass holds about 250 milliliters. And a sports bottle holds about 1,000 milliliters or 1 liter. So suppose you drank a glass of orange juice. Did you drink about 4 milliliters or 300 milliliters of orange juice? Explain. So if I go ahead and look at my images up top, I know that this little dropper holds 1 milliliter. This one tells me that a full glass holds about 225 milliliters. And a whole sports bottle holds either 1,000 milliliters or 1 liter. And I know I'm looking for a glass of orange juice. And this glass is about 250 milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and put, I drank a glass of orange juice that contains about 300 milliliters. Because a full glass holds about 250 milliliters. Now let's go ahead and go to the share and show. So it says choose the unit you would use to measure each container's capacity. So we're going to write either milliliter or liter. This is a little spoon. So I know, looking over here at my anchor chart, that a liter is about the size of a Gatorade bottle. And 1 milliliter is like a little water droplet. So I know that this little spoon, it cannot hold a bottle of Gatorade, it can only hold small little drops of water. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that in milliliters. Now I know that this bottle right here, I can measure that in liters. You guys are going to go ahead and do 3, 4, 5, and 6 by yourselves. Now let's go ahead and go to number 7. Let's go ahead and read our instructions first. So it says Ginger pours punch into 3 1-liter bottles. Choose the metric unit to measure the liquid volume in each bottle. Write milliliter or liter. So first of all, I know that all these bottles equal to 1 liter. So this one, number 7, is definitely less than a liter. So I'm going to have to measure that in milliliters. You're going to go ahead and do 8 and 9 by yourselves. We're going to go ahead and start going to our problem solving. So our instructions say use the containers for 10 through 13. So that means we're going to have to use them for 10, 11, 12, and 13. These containers on the side over here. Now, it's saying container A is full when 1 liter of water is poured into it. So what if you poured 1 liter of water into container B? Describe the way the water fills the container. Explain how you know. So I know that container A is full when 1 liter of water is poured. So I think that container B will probably be full so as the water fills it, we know that it's shorter and wider than A's, and we also know that container A is full of water. And if it were to fill up container B is shorter and wider, and it will most likely use the same amount of water. So container B is shorter and wider, and will most likely take up the same amount of water. Or hold the same amount Okay, boys and girls, you guys are going to go ahead and do 11, 12, and 13 by yourselves. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me.